that, but let's jump right into the playoffs talk. So we start off with the Cleveland versus Boston series. I personally have Cleveland winning this in four. I mean, sorry, in six.
I actually have them winning in 5,
Okay.
but I see what you're saying 6. It is going to be tough to play in Boston. Boston's getting like a big hot, but I, as I watch Boston play Philly, and where they play like in the young superstar, young to become superstar Ben Simmons, I didn't see no one really able to guard him when he got to the hole.
Okay.
And I think when you now play a LeBron James who is more dominant, is the superstar of now, it's only going to get harder.
Yeah.
And Al Horford is going to keep him in that series, so that's why I think it could be a good where that he's going to keep that distance where Love is not going to OD.
Correct.
And he is a good defender, so that's
well,
why
I think Boston's the best defense in the league right now, and I think defense is what wins. Well, I don't think defense, but defense wins championships. So defense will at least give Boston a chance against Cleveland. I think Brad Stevens is going to be the best coach in this series.
Yes.
So he'll be able to make adjustments that can give Boston a better chance. And they have better matchups for LeBron, as in Tatum and Brown, a little bit better matchup than in the previous series where Toronto had the rookie OG Anunoby. And yeah, OG Anunoby kind of guarded LeBron, which was just a poor matchup. And last year, Boston had Jay Crowder, who was really about 6'5", 6'6", who was a little bit smaller, whereas Tatum and Brown are a little bit bigger than Crowder, a little bit more physical. Not actually, no, they're not more physical.
No.
Like Jay Crowder's more physical, but they're bigger and they're a little more athletic than Crowder.
They're kind of better at defending than Crowder, I would say.
I think it's for LeBron.
For LeBron, in a sense.
I mean, but I think Cleveland will win it just off of the strength that LeBron. Okay, now I want to get to another notion specifically on this Cleveland thing. I've heard a lot of people say like this is the worst team LeBron has had. This is the worst team LeBron has taken to the playoffs and he's dominated with. That's one of the worst takes I've ever heard. Like I the team that he had way back, his original time with Cleveland with Mo Williams and Varejao.
When he lost in the first round, that one?
Yeah, even when he got to the finals and he was against the Spurs, that team is worse than the team that he has now. What about with Langston Hughes and Eric Snow and Antoine Jameson on the back end? Like that team is not this. And then this idea that this Cleveland team is much different than it was last year, it is not. Like if we look at the 7 players the main 7 players that play now. The replacement is really Kyrie Irving for George Hill, and then you kind of take out who's the other player that you virtually take out there that would have been part of their.
No real.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other player would have been now Richard Jefferson that you're more or less replacing now with who's the forward that they use now?
Oh, what's that big boy? The son, Lance.
No. I gotta look at the Cleveland roster. To the point that not Hood. There's another guy that got in there now.
Green.
No, I'm sorry,
Culver was there.
Culver was there.
But Green
is the guy. Yes.
Green.
Richard Jefferson is virtually replaced by Jeff Green.
Which is a better Green. Green is a better version of Jefferson.
Probably 5 years younger and a lot more athletic.
But my thing is,
Kyle Korver's still there. J.R. Smith is still there.
How could you say this is the worst team where the first year Warriors won a championship? I think that was the worst team. Where you had Tristan Thompson very young. Yeah. You had what's that? Everybody was rooting off for
Dellavedova. Was basically star point guard when Kyrie got hurt.
James Jones was playing in minutes.
That's just a bad take. And this idea it's a bad team. It's the same team. The difference is that the reason a lot of us thought Cleveland was playing bad in the regular season. Well, one, Kevin Love was hurt. Kevin Love is the second best player. Third reason, Kyrie Irving was in his first year removed from Cleveland. That adjustment period, like Kyrie was there for 6-7 years?
Yeah.
And he's a star player. Like the adjustment from losing that type of player, and then the replacement player was Isaiah Thomas and virtually Dwayne Wade. You hope that those together will replace what Kyrie brought to the table. Those are both gone by the second half of the year. The guys that you bring in to replace those guys, Jordan Clarkson and George Hill. First, Jordan Clarkson's never been in playoffs before.
And Clarkson,
George Hill. Now, yes, but George Hill is not the offensive player that is Kyrie Irving. He's not the offensive player that is even Isaiah Thomas. What George Hill is different than they are. He's a better defender than Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas. Hands down. He's a better spot-up shooter than probably both of them. But that takes time for him to adjust to LeBron James. He's never played with LeBron James.
And he's now finally playing. He didn't really play all season.
Correct. He was in Sacramento. He's a little banged up. He was a little hurt.
And he came here, was a little banged up, a little hurt, barely played. He can get into the second round.
So now that he's getting into his shape, Cleveland's going to look a lot better. because he fits well with LeBron James. He doesn't need the ball, and he's a good spot-up shooter, and he's a defender.
And he's played against LeBron a few times while in Indiana.
And another he's actually been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he has very much so seasoned playoff experience.
And this, I want to bring it back to why I feel Cleveland will take this series, is Boston's bench. I know we look at it as far as not a lot of superstars, but I think they're going in with like about 7 or 8 healthy players to really play. Like Marcus Smart, you're not sure if he's really going to be healthy all season. Shane Larkin hasn't played the last few games. Their backup point guard is Jaylen Brown at this point, where he is their starting shooting guard. So it's like he has to go out just to come right back in as a backup.
Correct.
And if you don't have an extensive bench playing against a LeBron James team, it's going to be really difficult. Very, very difficult, especially when you're a young, immature team where this is your real first as starters of playoff.
Correct. I do feel like, again, Brad Stevenson, his second year against LeBron, I think him being as smart as he is, he's going to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
The things that Dwayne Casey wouldn't do for 3 straight years against LeBron James. Like we even saw in the Boston series last year, they got beat by I think like 45 or 50 points. It was an ugly loss.
It was a couple bad
and
games.
the next game, without Isaiah, they were able to beat Cleveland in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was simply Brad Stevenson making an enormous amount of adjustments and showing those adjustments in the next game. Avery Bradley all them played big, and they won a game after being smoked by 40.
Yeah.
Whereas with Toronto, they didn't make adjustments, it looked like. And I think Brad Stevenson will make those adjustments. That's why I give them 2 games. I think they should get swept here. Talent for talent, where LeBron and Cleveland is rolling right now, they should get swept.
Probably.
But just Stevenson and the amount of talent Boston has,
They'll give them a little
they
bit more
should get
credit.
at least 1 or 2 games here.
Yeah.
No more than 2, I believe.
And speaking of, before we even leave off Cleveland, that whole situation with Hood refusing to come into the game,
and then Steven Jackson saying like, "Yo, you a bum. You're not even good enough to deny."
He hasn't done really that much for me to feel like, oh, you know what, let him take a rest.
Yeah.
Between you and Jordan Clarkson, the 2 acquisitions that just secretly has been coming by where you haven't really been putting up the numbers where you're like, oh, that was a good acquisition.
Well, I look at it both ways. I look at it one way is like, you really don't got the cachet to really tell a coach yes or no. Like, and even the people that can, there's only like a handful of players in the league that earn that right, and it's usually superstar franchise. So it's maybe like 10 players that you can name off that really has that cachet to tell coach,
and it has
I'm
to go
going in or I'm coming out.
And then it has to go by the year. So it's like a certain players, like, I don't even think Steph Curry can really say that. You didn't play all year to really be like, oh, I'm not going in. Nah, bump that. Like, it would have to be
LeBron James, James Harden, Russell Westbrook.
And then the list kind of goes like fades from there.
Very quick. Like, Tony Parker's not telling Popovich, I ain't going to no bench.
Durant's still new to this franchise. He can't say none of that.
As big as he started off. So with Rodney Hood, it just looks bad. It's almost like, yo, you just got this job last week, and then you told your manager, nah, I ain't doing that.
You just got probation, then you put your feet up on your coach's desk.
You know what I mean? Like, it just comes off like. But the other side of it is, I always respect the athlete that puts himself first. You know what I mean? Like that Kobe Bryant mentality is like, I don't care if coach doesn't think I can make this shot. I know I can make this shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if the league thinks I'm a bum. I know I'm like that Gilbert Arenas kind of mentality, that Kobe Bryant mentality, Jordan mentality, where it's like, you can't tell me what I feel for myself, how great I think I can be.
But that's an extent. But
then, and I love it. But then it's like,
what
have you done? Like what? Like not even in that game. Let's say you had 7 straight threes or something. You have nothing to stand on to be like, yo, I have a sore leg, or I've been putting in so much work. I've been putting in so much minutes. I'm not about to go into no wash time.
I tell you what he done. What he did was, first off, Tyronn Lue is always getting played somehow. But what he's done is he's put himself in a situation where it's overseas or D-League at this point. Because it's a good chance nobody's not going to want to touch you, where it's like, oh, you played with LeBron and these dudes told you to come in the court and you're like, nah, I'm good.
Facts. It doesn't look good at all. But I don't think he'll go to the G League. I don't think he'll drop that ball. Because he's still a very, like, his skill set is still something that a lot of teams would want. He's a 6'8". I think he's like 24. He's a sharpshooter.
But it's a good chance he's not in a competitive team next year.
I think it will be. Because I wouldn't be shocked if a team like Houston snatches him up. Because if he got on a team like Houston, Jesus Christ, he would fit that mold
if he wants to come to play.
The reason that he would, because who doesn't want to play for D'Antoni?
That's true.
The reason that he probably is mad with Tyronn Lue is a defensive coach first, so he's gonna probably want a Hood to play defense first. Whereas with D'Antoni's gonna be what Hood wants. Hood loves to shoot the ball. Yeah. He's almost a J.R. Smith from the left hand side.
But Hood is very good on defense.
He is. But he has a talent.
They don't want to.
So is J.R. Smith. When he wants to, he's a good defender. So I compare Rodney Hood to a left-handed J.R. Smith. Same kind of athleticism and talent. Can really shoot the ball, but not really committed to defensively and not the sharpest IQ-wise. Because this was not a good move on his.
Yeah, you don't do that. Regular season, you could get away with it.
It's going to cost some money. It's going to cost some opportunity.
It's pretty much because they didn't fine him. He had to speak with the general manager. I'm like, yo, if the fact that they didn't fine you, that just tells you you're no longer here.
Not part of the future plan.
Yeah.
They just find you to, you know what I'm saying, to let you know that this is what we want with our players.
But they're looking at you as, all right, this is dub.
It's over.
You're here as far as, like, we can't get rid of you now.
And I think he's a free agent. I think he's a restricted free agent. So it's like, they're just not going to match that.
It just makes sense.
Like, whoever goes in and gives him an offer sheet.
But then at the same time, he probably don't want to stay there either. So we'll see.
I think now he does it. Because I think he came into the playoffs thinking that he would get some real minutes off the bench. And he just hasn't. It's been Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith getting those minutes.
He thought he was going to get J.R.'s and probably.
And then even gave Clarkson some minutes. And I think he feels some way that Clarkson has been giving minutes over him. And he just hasn't gotten no minutes.
And Clarkson.
And I think finally, like, Lou basically, the game was over. Was like, all right, go, go, go. And he's like, yo, you giving Clarkson over me now? You want to put me? I ain't going in now. He was frustrated. I get it. He's a young player that was probably expecting more to contribute more in the playoffs. He was waiting all year for this, and now he doesn't get the chance to. And then basically Tyronn Lue was like, all right, you can go in now and play. The game's already over. He was like, yo, don't put me in now. When the whole series you wasn't trying to put me in. So he felt offended. Which I can understand from a competitive player's point of view. Like, don't put me in when it means nothing. When I expect to be in there when the minutes is like really important.
But as far as a job, he failed at his job.
Yeah, you got to respect authority.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
But it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen Kobe flare up before. We've seen stars flare up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Dwayne Wade get a smoke his face during the game. So we've seen stars flare up. But the problem with this is Rodney Hood is not a star. That's where this whole thing falls down on itself. Like, you've never made an all-star appearance.
He was a college star.
You're not even a top 10 pick. Like, it was like he was a star in college.
Yeah, he was on a lot.
Like, he wasn't even a star on your team. I think he was on the John Wall Kentucky Wildcats. Like, you wasn't even one of them. Oh, speaking of John Wall, he's on the TV right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
One of the worst first pitches I've ever seen. 50 Cent level.